We also have a look at hog markets this week with Ron Plain from the University of Missouri. U.S. pork exports in February were 16% higher than during February of 2016. Mexico was the largest buyer, taking nearly a third of American shipments. U.S. pork imports for February, meanwhile, were the smallest in more than 2.5 years. Across the country, farmers have continued to grow the U.S. herd. The USDA's latest inventory report showed producers set March 1st records for the number of market hogs, the largest pig crop, the most pigs saved per litter, and the total tally of all hogs and pigs. We talked with Ron Wednesday morning and began by asking for his thoughts on the latest quarterly estimates.
Well, Jeff, lots of hogs out there. The summary on this, 4.4% more market hogs than a year ago. The total herd up 4.2%. That's going to give us hog slaughter this year somewhere around 122 million head, breaking last year's record of 118 million. So it's going to mean plenty of pork for consumers and some lower prices for hog farmers.
Does this report indicate we're in a growth mode? Where are we in that scheme of growing or contracting?
We're still growing. Hog numbers were down sharply in 2014 because of the PED virus, and we bounced back and we're still growing, although indications are we're going to slow that growth. Winter farings were up 2.8%. The forecast is the number of sows that will farrow this spring will be up 1.4%, and this summer down 0.4%. So if USDA is right on those numbers, we're going from modest growth back towards a steady situation.
Are there any shifts happening when it comes to where pork production is occurring?
Well, there's been some shifts in the breeding herd, it looks like. Missouri was up strong, 16% in our breeding herd numbers in this report. Market hogs still seem to be moving towards the Corn Belt. Iowa and Indiana up, I believe it was 7% and 8% respectively.
How much pressure did these numbers put on market prices?
Well, prices have been coming down. Basically, we've lost $8 per hundredweight since the 1st of February on carcass hog prices, which is a bit unusual for this time of year. But, you know, there's just more hogs than was expected, and that has been a drag on prices.
Where do you think they go from here?
Well, seasonally, the odds are very strong in our favor that we will end April with higher hog prices than we start, and we will end May with still higher hog prices. So I'm guessing we're probably going to put on maybe $10 per hundredweight on carcass prices over the next 2.5 months.
Margins getting squeezed?
Well, yes, right now we're kind of in a break even to a little dab of red ink for the average hog producer. But fortunately, feed costs are down, and we're expecting that with stronger prices this summer that we'll make some money several months in a row.
You talked about the number of hogs that are out there right now. How heavy are they when they go to market?
Well, that's been a positive factor, Jeff. Market weights have been down about 2 pounds on average, according to the Iowa-Minnesota live weight series. The long-term trend is for heavier weights. I wouldn't be surprised if weights might average a bit higher in the second half of this year than they did a year ago.
We also got U.S. pork export data this week for the month of February. What did it indicate?
Things are going our way. The first 2 months of this year, pork imports are down 14%, exports up 18%. So that's exactly what hog producers would want to see. Very strong exports to Mexico, South Korea, and continued strength to Japan. So all the trade data is looking in our favor.
Yeah, those have been the top 3 buyers. Why have they been so strong year over year?
Well, we've got plenty of supply and lower prices, you know, record hog numbers, and you've got pork available to export at a competitive price.
Would you expect import numbers to still be pressured?
Well, most of our imports of pork comes from Canada, and Canada's also supplying more pork to across the Pacific. So I wouldn't be surprised if pork import numbers continue to lag behind a year ago.